like, damn.
You're making me nervous. You're making me all red in the face.
Oh, first date
Max.
shivers.
Yo, that blush you do.
Well, you know what they say on the third date? Like, that's when you... So... Yeah, so third date, it's on. Don't worry, I got protection. I got my Yu-Gi-Oh cards on me.
Oh, make sure they're double sleeved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus,
Inners and outers.
Exodia's watching over us.
The chosen one.
Got all 5 pieces.
So there was heaps of trailers that dropped on the weekend, or like last week.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some big movies that I'm pretty keen on. Probably one of the biggest ones I'm keen on is John Wick 2.
He's coming back again for a
He's coming
second
back.
one.
Have you seen his new dog?
Yeah, well, it's the same. I mean, you know.
No, it's a different dog.
Yeah, but no, it's the same.
You know, the last one got like...
Yeah, we all know it. Can we? I don't want to talk about it. It's very hard. But yes, it's the same dog he got after, you know, spoiler at the end of the film. It's grown up. Well, the dog's grown up a bit now.
It's a big pit bull?
I think, I'm not sure. I'm not good. I don't know dog breeds, but I just like
I feel
dogs.
so left out because I didn't see the trailer.
But you haven't even seen the first one, have you?
Nah, I never saw it.
Oh,
You got it. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't
as
doubt it.
as
Just haven't
far
had a
as
chance.
far as action movies go, it is one of the best new age sort of actions, and because it was made on such a low budget, it has that real gritty, like fast paced action, which you just don't get in like the highly
like really
controlled,
like really like fast cut sort of action.
Well, not even just that. It has like nice long cuts because there's a scene when he's in the nightclub. And he walks from like one of the nightclubs through the other end and just kills people all along the way.
Is it one continuous shot?
For a lot of it, yeah.
Okay.
Mostly, yeah.
There's long stretches, so the action looks really intense.
Okay.
But then the fighting style they gave him is super brutal. So he does this thing which I actually saw used in the game, which I then thought I'd just Google search and seems to be like a real thing. It's like where they position the gun sort of like right in the middle of their chest, like whether it's a pistol or anything like that.
Okay.
So that way, you know, where they're sort of shooting.
Yeah.
It's going to go in that direction. But then as soon as he shoots someone and they go down, he then always does an extra pop shot to the head. Like he's never just like, oh, you're shot in the chest, you're dead. And then like, you know, you see in other movies they go, and they shoot them again. He's just like, bang, bang.
Yeah, so
double
basically, Zombieland strategy there. Oh, bang, yes. I'm never going to live that one down. I know one trailer I saw that I know for a fact that anyone who grew up in the 90s is keen for. I'm sorry, Jacob.
Keen's a strong word.
I grew up for 4 years in the 90s.
But did you experience... Take a moment there, everybody.
Oh, I think I'm technically correct.
But did you ever experience the mighty morphing Power Rangers in all of their glory?
Oh, I saw it like...
You would have missed it.
Not in their prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, just so that we're clear, the original awesome Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, not the other ones, saw that trailer, and I'm sure you would have seen it as well, Travis.
Yeah.
That looks... I can't wait. What do you think?
Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely going to see it. It's got Elizabeth Banks in it, and she's a chick from Pitch Perfect and also from The Hunger Games. And she's hilarious. Like, she's a comedian. And she can do... and she does crazy pretty well, because, like, when you see her in Hunger Games, she plays Katniss Everdeen's, like, publicist.
Yes. Yeah, it's like what she is.
That sort of role. That sort of... Yeah, that sort of role. And, like, you know, she's a bit loopy there. And right now she's playing in this movie... one of the main bad guys.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yes. And then Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad is going to be in it as well.
From Breaking Bad.
Yeah?
Didn't watch Malcolm in the Middle?
Well, yeah, I was going to say Malcolm Middle, but then you stopped me.
I know.
I think, most recently, Heisenberg has been one of his big roles.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But the thing I
apparently
like...
he was in the original Power Rangers.
As what?
Something. I can't remember.
No way.
No, there's a credit. I was on his IMDb the other day, and there's a credit.
Yeah, it's like an unlisted credit. Like he's in the show, it doesn't say him, but on his IMDb, it's got Power Rangers. But yeah, so he's going to be playing Zordon, which is the... So in this one, though, because I don't think you ever saw that in the original TV show, they actually show you the body of Zordon. Because you know how he's like the big head in the glass tube?
Yeah.
It's because he's like in a sort of comatose state.
Basically, he's a very old being, and the only way he can survive is being in that state. And he projects himself with what we used to see in the TV show, the whole overdone
like Rangers,
you must, Rangers, you must fight, alpha and all that sort of stuff.
Well, the other cool thing I saw in the trailer, and this, if they do the first movie right, and they don't make it too, I don't mind corny, but obviously it's a sort of a teen adolescence movie if they do it right, because the characters seem to have abilities outside of their suits. So you saw the trailer, right?
Yeah.
So there's like they got the strength on it, and the guy's like, I don't know, feeling sick because his body's changed, and he goes to grab on his on like the bathroom sinks, and he just like rips the porcelain off.
Yeah.
And then they jump across a cliff. So outside of the suits, they're super powered. So when they're in the suits, they must be even more powered. And yeah,
it's like maybe that's what they're suggesting. What I did like about the trailer is it cuts out right before the suits go on.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's good.
They haven't actually. The only thing that they spoiled, but it's not really spoiled because she's on the posters, is the fact that Elizabeth Banks is the bad person.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep. Which is good. They haven't shown you anything of how she's going to become the bad person. Like, the plot point on how she enters the movie as in, here's my henchman sort of thing. It's just like...
That's just... She's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good.
The suits look a little bit overworked to me.
Oh,
maybe because they're trying to do it up, bring it back, and really amp it up. I'm on the fence with the suits, honestly, because I don't know what it's going to be like.
I don't think they look terrible. My biggest complaint about the suits is they have the mouthpiece on them.
Yeah.
And the reason why I find that really weird is because they have a mouth there. I don't know if they're going to move in the movie, but if they don't move, it feels weird having a mouth visible which doesn't move because they're going to talk and you're not going to see it move. So I don't know if you ever... Yeah.
Where did you see the suits? Because it wasn't in the original trailer.
Oh, there's posters.
Yeah. There's posters
There's
everywhere,
posters of the whole suit completed, but in the trailer it's not. And I don't know if you've seen it, but there's cool ways you can do suits. Like, if you just watch a lot of Japanese anime, but as an adult sort of like version one, if you see a movie, which actually Mark Hamill starred in, Guyver. You ever see Guyver?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's good. I mean, you like Mark Hamill because of Joker and Batman.
Of course I do.
Because he's an excellent voice actor in that. But the suits in that, it covers his whole mouth. So when he talks, you don't expect something to move. But this one has, like, grafted mouths.
What would be good is if they sort of, I don't know, maybe you could disagree with me on this, but when they do the whole, stale, so they're just mouthpieces that don't move, they could do a bit of a digital voice thing. Could that maybe work with the Rangers suits?
Oh, I don't think it's going to be terrible. I just think it's odd when you have a mouth that's there, which isn't going to move, because then it begs the question of why bother putting a mouth there and not just a guard? Like, Shredder. Imagine if Shredder's mask had a mouthpiece, but when he spoke, it didn't move.
It would be totally uncommon for his character. Like,
it would just
take the
it's
aspects
more
away
it's
from
more
his character.
odd than bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it's a terrible idea. It's just odd to me, like why you would do it.
What do you think,
Why'd I
Jacob?
have the bowl, Bart?
It's a different...
Why'd I have the bowl?
Yeah.
What do you think, Jacob? What's your opinion on that?
Well, I mean, like you said, I didn't really know much about the old school style of suit, and I know the mouth wasn't shown, was it? Like,
No, they had like motorcycle helmets.
Yeah, it was motorcycle helmets, and it just had like lips.
No, they had their animals sort of teeth on it. Because remember, the Red Ranger was like T-Rex, so he had like the big chompy jaws. Like, I mean, it's cartoonily done.
I know what you're saying.
I remember what
I
you're
know
saying.
they definitely didn't have any mouth. It was completely
it wasn't
smooth.
a mouth. It was like a mold of a mouth, though, that was there.
No. It wasn't even a mold of a mouth.
You sure? There wasn't like a little white bit that was...
You know what I'm talking about, eh?
I think I remember, like,
pretty
but I've
sure.
got, like, real vague images in my head.
Oh.
But,
I don't think they had mouths, because, they were like weird motorcycle helmets.
But on that, like, topic, I think it could be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe they will move in the movie, and we just haven't seen it.
I mean, they did that for Deadpool. Deadpool's eyes, he had motion capture stuff on his eyes, so that when in the post-production they could, squint them and put them up and down and all that sort of stuff, and that looked fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's a common thing happening now. Didn't they do something similar for Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. And obviously going to be in Homecoming. The last thing I'm just interested to see, like this. So there's a couple of things I'm really keen to see in the movie, and now that I've seen the first trailer, I never watched past the first trailer. I never watched like the second trailer and the third trailer, because they're just spoilers.
You could repiece the movie together.
Yeah, like everyone knows my opinion on that sort of stuff. But I'm keen to see them do, because they do the first transformation in a trailer where it looks like Zordon is forcing the transformation. The first time being just like, this is your transformation. But I'm keen to see the whole where they like
it's
pull
morphin'
it out.
time.
Yeah.
That was the thing about
I want
the
to
show.
see that. I want to see that. And also if they have their giant mecha robots.
Oh yeah, no, they have to.
Well,
They have to.
they may not have it in the first one. Because the second movie could, like, if they plan it right, if they plan for a sequel, the way that I could see them doing the sequel really well is if they have to, and I mean, this might be a bit of a rip-off, and if you haven't seen Voltron, the new series on Netflix, if they have to go uncover and reactivate their Mechazoids, because, they're supposed to be these ancient robots, much like Voltron.
Yes.
And they may not necessarily just be fully up and working now that the Power Rangers have come back. So, I mean, that would be a cool in the sequel thing where, they have an even bigger, badder person.
Yeah.
So they need to go on this mini quest to get these robots and come back in.
I really hope, I know it probably won't be good, but I hope we do see them. I mean, that was the thing. I had the big Megazord toy when I was a child, where you put them all together.
Yeah, and you had the sword and you poked your brother in the eye. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
sister, but yeah.
I feel like it'd be real disappointing if they didn't have it in the movie.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. I won't be surprised if they do, but I'd be sort of pleasantly and happy surprised if they don't, because if they set it up correctly for the second one as a proper solid plot, not just there's another bad guy.
Yeah.
We gotta go do some more stuff.
And like I don't want them to set up for a sequel and then the first movie be trash.
Yes.
Just be awful.
Before we go on about movies, have you guys been hearing about this clown thing that's been going on around in Australia? Well, the world almost, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
basically
Idiots.
promoting that stupid, the remake of Stephen King's It. I mean, there are a lot of people out there who are absolutely terrified of clowns.
That was Bryan Cranston. No.
No,
it
Tim
wasn't.
Curry was
Tim
It.
Curry.
Yes. Brian, how do you get Bryan Cranston from Tim Curry?
No, because I was actually reading about it the other night, and I was going through, and at the same time I was reading about Power Rangers. I must have just, in my memory, just got, the two people.
Tim Curry is going to be in Power Rangers.
It's so bad that he had a stroke and he's just, wheelchair bound now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had an anniversary for Rocky Horror this year. All the main cast was there, and just seeing him in the state he was, that was sad.
Yeah.
I mean...
But as far as the clown stuff goes, I mean, people have already been arrested for it.
Yeah.
Have you seen, there's been,
it's an offence now. No, they've said.
There's been Instagram videos of where... I was watching one this morning. This guy was walking back from the pub late at night, and there was a clown guy blocking the path.
Yeah, I think.
And then he's just he's sort of half drunk. He's like, I better put my drink down here. And then he's like, walks up to the clown, and the clown's just standing there. He's like, what? You want to go, mate? You want to go? And then the clown starts piss bolting off, and he's chasing this clown. The clown just gone. The clown's like,
he's got the bottle in his hand. He's just got a glass.
Yeah, he's got a glass, this clown.
What a clown.
Oh, Jacob.
Mate, you're a joker.
Good work. But yeah, in saying that, it's stupid. They were actually near my train station, Riverview.
Oh, you mean you actually saw
one
of him?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was not pleased. I saw him. He was trying to scare these women on the other side, because it's like an overhanging bridge at my station from platform A to B.
Yeah.
They were on the other side. I could see them hiding behind the wall with the machete, doing all that. And then I'm thinking, they see me pull out my phone, and I was going to call the police and be like, look, I got these idiots here that are going to scare people. They saw me pull out my phone.
So they were brandishing a weapon in
illegal.
Public and making threatening gestures. I don't think they understand how it all works. Or if they do, they're idiots.
See, what would have been real funny is, a train pulls up and then the police step out. How they ride the train? If that happened, I would, have been so satisfied.
I would have got off the train just to record it, even if it meant I had to wait, another 20 minutes. I love instant karma moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, bottom line, end of the day, I think it's stupid. They need to stop doing it.
And what's worse is people think it's funny and they do it, and that's the sort of stuff where it goes on your record or goes on your public record or you get in the news stuff, and then you apply for something way later on in your life or you're trying to study for something, and it just comes back and it just hits you.
It'll
and it's
bite
just
you
like,
in the bum on
oh,
that one.
right, I was such an idiot when I was 16 or 19 or something like that. It's like, oh well.
Yeah. It was funny also because there's a Facebook page for all these clowns, and they're posting where they're going to show up, on weekend nights and stuff like that, at what times. And there's a Facebook page called Don't Dog the Boys.
Don't dog the boys.
Yeah, and pretty much they were posting screenshots from this page, and one of the posts was about schools that they're going to go to. And try and not terrorize, but try and scare some kids.
Oh my.
And
No. Bad.
The people on this Don't Dog the Boys page, a large collection of them just posted, started messaging people in the group saying that they were going to do it, saying if I see you at these schools, I will hurt you.
I'm sure they would. It's
If I see these clowns, I'm going to hurt them, because that is there's one thing just terrorizing strangers. It's another thing doing it to kids.
No, don't mess
at
with kids.
Schools.
Yeah,
No, don't mess with kids. Full stop.
There's laws around certain properties. You can't just enter a school property as well unless you're authorized. If you're on school grounds and you're not a teacher and you're not a parent or you're not a legal guardian or you don't have a a specific
Yeah.
valid reason why you're there,
It's
know,
illegal, yeah.
it's illegal. You can be held accountable for that.
Yeah, even if you're visiting a school, you need to sign in.
Yeah,
Like,
and you always
visit
go
it
through the
right,
office.
You
yeah.
have to.
And they don't realize that school boundary isn't just like the school grounds. There's like a school boundary zone.
Yeah.
Like if you're within a zone of the school, hence why cars when they drive through, it doesn't matter if they're not on the grounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
But off from that, what I was going to say before is there's a new Underworld movie coming out, Blood Wars. So I don't know. You guys never watch Underworld
You
movies?
can already tell my opinion on that.
Oh, you never liked them.
I think they milked it a bit, to be honest.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
great. Like, they were good.
Let's talk about milking. Let's talk about Resident Evil and Mila Jovovich's movie.
Oh, okay.
Don't get me
good.
wrong. They're not terrible, but that's milking a franchise. At least the Underworld, you know what I mean? Like they do try.
They're giving it a good go. They really
I'm
are.
actually a little confused because I can't remember which one's which. But I remember watching one like maybe a year
Well, Underworld's
ago.
one with vampires.
Oh, so
Underworld's the one with
What's the one with
vampires.
zombies?
That's Resident Evil.
That's Resident
Okay, so I was gonna say like, man, I'm getting sick of those zombies in that show, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, waiting
It's a
on. I know
good
they're
thing you stopped
different.
yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, I'm keen on that. I mean, I don't know where the story's going to go. I want to see where the story goes. I mean, the third one, I don't really want to spoil it, but like the third one, you can sort of guess where the first one goes. The vampire and a werewolf dude, they go together. They happen to have a child, and it's like a hybrid of both. And the third one is about people trying to get that hybrid. And the fourth one sort of seems to be continuing that. And
The originals.
yeah, and like the fourth, like their child is meant to be like the super strong hybrid that no one can control. Like not even the parents. Like she's just gone.
One thing I did like about Underworld was the use of the term lichen as well. I mean, isn't that
Oh,
like
yeah.
the name? You got werewolves or whatever, but
That's the throwback to the proper name that they were referred to.
because the whole thing's like Lutheran and I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, like when you read like Van Helsing books and all that sort of stuff, the Vampire Hunter D movies. Yeah, it's all about that.
To clarify, and vampires were awesome. Hashtag bloody breaking. What is it? Twilight and all that other
Yeah.
stuff.
Breaking Dawn.
I can only
Breaking
say
Dawn.
that I have seen one of the Twilight movies. I went with my girlfriend as like one of our first dates sort of stuff. And before that, like I hated on it like everyone else. And after I saw it, I mean, I hated on it even more. It was much worse than I thought when I saw it. It's particularly when they do sparkle and their fight scenes, because there wasn't that many characters. I mean, the person who wrote it was just ripping off Harry Potter or 50 Shades of Grey, or was it
it's
the other
all
way
the way
around?
A mixture of that would be
No,
interesting.
Twilight was rip off something, wasn't it? Or was it original?
50 Shades of Grey was a fan fiction of Twilight.
Ah, that's right. Well,
Ah.
I watched one where there was supposed to be this massive
Dance
big
Behind
fight,
It.
and they were running. No, I remember. I heard it when it came out, and they're running in this big snowy field. But it's just like
Yeah.
there's 20 guys on either side. Like it looks
Now,
so tiny.
Before I wanted to be right, I actually did watch them all, and before I'd started saying bad things about it, I wanted to make sure that I really wanted to say bad things about it. I gave all the movies a go.
Yeah.
They were all trash. I think they're all trash, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And that's always subjective, but the acting. I don't reckon it was the actor's fault because I've seen Robert Pattinson in other movies. I've seen Kristen or Kirsten.
Kirsten Stewart?
Christian Stewart.
I've seen Kristen Stewart in other movies. I've seen a lot of the other actors, like the vampire, the other people like his rest of and the family, and just the other actors in other movies. They can all act well. I think it's largely the script
Yeah.
/plot /director.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because as bad as the script and the plot can be, at the end of the day, how they take a scene or how they accept the scene, that falls to the director.
yeah.
I mean, you can have a bad script, but when you also have an equally bad director, that's when you get like a movie like Twilight where it just
Yeah, you can't.
it's just abysmal. Like it's just the acting is so poorly done.
And just like a bad universe, I guess. Well, like I'm not gonna call it a universe.
Oh, it is.
But just
Yeah.
like a poor like design choice. Like there's so many things wrong.
And they never explain things like why is he going to high school? Like,
True.
I
'cause
think it was more like to try and fit in, but then again, like to try and fit
he's
in.
already hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
he's
he
been
doesn't-
around for years.
grow out of that.
Years.
Yeah, you think after 50 years of high school, he should graduate by now, right?
Yeah, I mean they move around towns, but I mean even if that were your feelings, even if it's just like I want to fit in, your intelligence and your experience is well beyond that of a high schooler. That you'd be better off actually just trying to just go to bars and clubs or
Yeah.
try to get into the corporate world. Like rather than going to high schoolers, people who he talks about century-long wars and all that sort of stuff. It's like, yeah, cool. So I couldn't find my Snap Crackle Pop this morning. It was pretty devastating.
Pretty easy. You want a good vampire film, in my opinion? Interview with the Vampire with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
Oh,
I think that's fantastic.
That is one of the best vampire films ever created.
Absolutely.
And then as far as like just an action flick, coming back to it, the Underworld series. Like if you just want something that's just like, I want your stereotypical action vampire movie with like decent acting. That's where you go. Because you got Bill Nighy in that as well, and you got and you got I can't remember the main actress's name, but she
was in Van Helsing as well.
Yeah, she's in Van Helsing. She's also in
another vampire movie.
She's also in the new Total Recall. She played the fake wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So she's a good actor. I mean, in that movie though, in Total Recall, she was terrible. In Total Recall, that was a terrible movie.
There's only one original Total Recall.
There is. But you know
we all know.
You know what's even funnier? When I went and saw Total Recall, the remake that came in 2014 or whatever, I went and saw it with my friend Kyle. And basically, at the time, he's a very smart person. Like, you know, you say, oh, my friend, he's pretty smart. Well, he was studying his PhD in mathematics and physics. He's a very smart guy. Like, I would trust his word on most things.
You had me in mathematics there.
Yeah. But the scene or the premise of how they travel from one side of the planet to the other side of the planet through the middle of Earth, that doesn't work. Like, excluding the fact that we have a molten center. We also have, like the core of Earth is solid. It is so solid. There is nothing that we could have that could ever drill through that. Because, you know, gravity, it's been compounded over millions and millions of years. You can't build that little tunnel thing that goes through Earth and into Australia.
This is dangerous. You're making me think.
Why is Australia like the toxic country? Because we're the country on the other side. Are we actually adjacent to? We're not adjacent to America, are we?
No. I have no idea.
I'm terrible about geography.
It's definitely China. Because you remember
it's always China.
It's always China. Because do you remember being in the sandpit at school? I'm going to dig to China.
Yeah. Well, you know, they should maybe. Donald Trump, he's building walls. Maybe we should build some solid floors as well. Make sure them Chinese don't dig up through it.
The one thing I've been hearing with him, it's been this about Donald Trump. Donald Trump in Mexico. That's just he's always just just sick of it. I'm over it. So
they had a
wall. Exactly.
They had another presidential debate. Thing.
I'm sure they would have.
You know,
just to gain some interest.
Donald Trump is a lot of things, but. Man, he can.
If only we could say
what those things were. He can spin a question so well.
Right.
One of them. So I don't know if you know, but basically a leaked audio / footage came out of where Donald Trump was overheard saying. Well, not overheard. He was actually recorded saying because he had the equipment on him already. Was overheard saying how he was hitting on like a married woman, on how he like came onto her real strong. It was basically like he is sort of he didn't sort of say. He basically said that he what's the sort of word I'm looking for? He was very strong and forcefully advancing on women.
Yeah. It was very vulgar as well.
Is this the one where he's like, I'm a star, they want me, I can get away with it?
Yeah, and he's like to quote, he goes, yeah, sometimes I go up and I'll kiss them, and you can just like being a star, you can just sort of like grab them by the So there's some parts where he was saying that he'd just come up and just kiss a lady, and he could just like grab them by the pussy.
Yeah.
That is a direct quote.
He's full of it, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's a direct quote. I wish I wasn't a direct quote, but that is a direct quote.
Yeah.
But to come back to what I was saying, how he's amazing at spinning it. During this debate, one of the guys just asked him very clearly. He says, "You said all this sort of stuff, blah 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 blah. So do you condone or do you understand that you were basically talking about sexually assaulting women?" And he started talking about it. He's like, I'm sorry, I said a lot of stupid stuff when I was younger. Like, he very did clearly apologize for what he said.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm very sorry, there was locker room talk, I'm sorry about that. And he says that a couple of times. He says, but, in this sort of world where you have ISIS beheading people, like 17 seconds, he just switches it to terrorism. I mean, and then he starts going off for the next 3-5 minutes talking about terrorism, and they never get back to the question.
WTF?
The white-haired guy?
With like the red sweater?
No.
I love it how we're trying to figure something out.
Yeah, Travis was telling me about that meme earlier, the one where he couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know why that guy's a meme. I don't know what he
I haven't
asked,
seen it yet.
I woke up this morning, I'm looking through Instagram, looking on Imager, and looking on Facebook, and all I see is these photos of this dude called Kenneth Bone, and like Kenneth Bone starter packs, like some Versace the white shirt, some Tag Heuer red sweater, and I was like, what does this guy say? But with Trump, he's a lot of stupid things, but he is very good at deflection.
Yeah.
He
Doesn't it make you question though whether or not America's stupid or if if he's stupid?
Oh, I wouldn't go far to say America's stupid.
Unfortunately, it's the American system. So, but by the same token, you have Hillary and you have Trump. They're not the only candidates. If people wanted to, they could vote for other people, but
They can go third party, but it won't really matter. A lot of people
Yeah.
are saying that, like, you can vote third party, sure, but in the end, it's probably not going to matter.
yeah, because their
Yeah.
their system doesn't quite work like ours. So we got a two-party preferential system in Australia as well. So it's either predominantly, and I'm sure political people would correct me, but it's predominantly just always Labor and Liberals. But now in recent years, you have Pauline Hanson,
Yeah.
and now you also have Greens who are gaining ground, and that's because largely that people are just losing their confidence in the system.
Yeah, and it really says something, doesn't it?
Yeah, like how many times can you be in power, and how many times can you constantly just badmouth the opposition, and how many times can you just not achieve anything of significance?
It just keeps on going around. It's
Yeah,
never going
and
to
they
end.
say, oh, this party always spends all the money. Oh, this party always just cuts all the stuff. It's just like, well, if that's what you're known for, why don't either one of you try and come to a middle ground within your own party? But yeah, it's such a stupid system.
Welcome to the politics where the candidates are made up and the votes don't matter.
Yeah, yeah. I love the movie. This is
Whose politician is it anyway?
Have you seen you've seen Brewster's Million? We watched it at my place, didn't we?
Bruce's which one?
Brewster's Million, where basically like the black guy, he finds out he has a rich white uncle, and he inherits $30 million, but he has to spend that $30 million within 30 days.
I don't think I have seen that one.
It's a classic old comedy.
So it's like a cult comedy, or
Yeah, like this is like Eddie Murphy before Beverly Hills Cop comedy. It's like made in like the
Ooh.
early 80s. It
What's
is
it called?
Brewster's Millions. It is hilarious.
pre-Murphy.
And basically, one of the rules, like he can't, like, getting a bit off topic, but he can't buy assets. So he can't just spend money on a car.
Yeah.
He can't just buy a house because they're still worth money.
Yep.
Like he's just transferring his money from his bank to a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he has to waste
Money. That's what
$30 million in 30 days. So one of the things that he does is he runs to be mayor of New York City. Because like the campaign and everything, but basically his slogan is like none of the above. like for the other people running, he's like none of the above, and he's like everywhere he travels, he flies by helicopter because it's the most expensive way to travel.
Yeah.
And like he pays his security guard something like $30,000 a day, who was just a random bank security guard. So when he goes to the bank to see all his money, there's this security guard standing there. He's like, oh, because his acting's so funny. He's like, oh, I need to spend some money. Oh. But the other thing is he can't tell anyone he has to do this.
Oh, okay.
Only he knows he has to spend the money. So everyone just looks at him spending money recklessly. So he's like to the security guy, says, oh, you should, let me hire you. I can't look after all this money. And goes like, how much you get paid a day? And he's like, I get paid $30. He's like, oh, $30. Oh, how about $10,000? And he's like, oh, wow. He goes, no, you're right. That's not enough. $30,000. It's an old movie.
I think it might make some time.
It is a great comedy, and because it's an older movie, it only goes for like 80 minutes. Like it's not like one of those 2-hour like the modern day movies.
Lord of the Rings, or
4 hours. Yeah,
the trees are walking in that movie.
yeah, but
So
Classic.
so crazy things. Do you remember my pigeon story I did last
Yes.
podcast
about Russia.
Any,
Was it Russia?
No. India.
yours was the Russian thing.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and I had that pigeon thing. I found a new wacky thing but this is more of like oh my god, like so this puzzle fan, he spends a year, he wants to build the world's biggest puzzle.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, out of the 33,600 puzzle pieces, 4 were missing. So
Rip. Kill me now.
he could not finish that puzzle. He spent a whole year making it. I just looked at that. I was like, oh, that's that poor guy.
I was when you were talking about, I thought you were saying more like he made this puzzle and he put all the pieces in the box and then counted 4 missing, so he has to put it together to find the missing pieces.
He even
It takes
tried.
him another 3 years.
He tried to hit up the manufacturers and be like, "Can you please make me these puzzle pieces? I need these 4 exact pieces." But like, no, we can't do it.
Man, there's a yeah.
That sucks though.
With puzzles, the other week on Friday, I think it was. It's just been. There's a new phone that got announced. I don't know if you know, it's a Google Pixel phone.
Yep.
So that's their competition to Samsung and to the iPhone. It's being priced identical to the iPhone. and they've gotten rid of the Nexus lines. But basically, when I went to the event, though, it was pretty cool. They had a thing called an escape room there. Have you guys ever been to an escape room?
Nope.
So
I've heard of them.
yeah. So you go into this room or into this place, and you basically got to figure out this puzzle, and there's clues around the place. But this one was pretty cool because it was a phone event. We had the Google phone, and you had to use the Google phone to find the event.
Okay.
So if you're looking around, and you had to like ask certain phrases and it give you certain information, or you ask, what station this train comes on or this plane, and that gives you like a letter because then we're like trying to break into this safe, this electronic safe, and you need that one letter from there, you get another letter from this other thing, and
so it's like a scavenger hunt in a way.
yeah, but it's done in a room. But there's different sort of styles. So this one was just purely a logic and puzzle one. There's other escape rooms which are like horror and scary ones.
Oh, F
Yeah,
that.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do
Yeah.
it.
No, but after doing it, it was awesome.
Was one of the things where you had to blow the door, so they gave you a Note 7?
No. I thought you meant blow as in like,
No.
and I was just like, oh, okay.
No,
Oh, but what was funny?
setting breaching charge, Note 7.
Yeah, they put it in rainbow.
Get some blue tack, chuck it on charge.
Yeah, we all know what the Australian ones would do. Bang!
But it was funny though because talking about like secret rooms, we got like this car key, and we're like, oh, we got this electronic lock, and we're pressing it, and like you can sort of hear like the car sound.
Yep.
But obviously we're in a room. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And yeah, this place had like a secret bookcase opening and everything. So we press it, and it's like, we're looking at the books, and it's like, oh, because we can hear it like making the sound, and we're pulling the books, and like then the bookcase opens up. It was rad. It was super rad. And it was free, like, because it was it was to show off the skills, because a lot of it was you could even take a photo and you use Google's new assistant feature, and it can contextually see the photo, then brings up results for that photo.
Okay, that's cool.
So like if I just took a photo of the Sydney Opera House, it would then bring up like restaurants near it maybe, or tours or websites and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I thought it was really cool, and yeah,
So
just remind me of
if
like
I took a picture of Max, would it come up with Mars bars?
Yeah, like just behind like some bars for some reason, like grey bars, almost like jowl
The
bars.
sad thing is, no one probably knows what. Well, some might, but no one really knows what.
Yeah,
we're
it's better
talking
making
about.
fun of someone when other people don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Because they're going to be like, what? And then they're going to come ask you, and then you're going to feel real famous.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you Max from the podcast? Oh,
Yeah, the Mars bar guy. That's
Mars-
me. Yeah, well, I mean, there's some cool games coming out, but in saying that, you're talking about the project. So the project you were just talking about, then, was it like a new thing they were testing?
No.
It was new phone.
It's a new phone.
So it's a new phone. but-
Yeah, it's brand new phone. I mean, I won't go much into detail, but it's got some really nice specs on it. It's the highest end Android device that you can get. People whinging about the price of it, but it's the same price as an iPhone, so like, it's all on par, and they're saying it's expensive, but then it's the same price as a Samsung as well. So, and expensive is really just relative to the person. I mean, they say, oh, it's $1,000. I don't buy phones outright. I just get them on plans anyway. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's expensive, then don't buy it outright. But I mean, if you don't want to be in a contract, well, then don't get that sort of phone. Like, it's
Yeah.
Does
not-
it have a front speaker?
no, it doesn't. So it's not like the
Why do
iPhone.
no phones have a front speaker?
The iPhone does. It's stereo now. Yeah,
Nexus has one as well, which is really nice.
yeah. The
I'm
new.
so sick of accidentally covering it up because I don't want to drop it. It's like,
Oh yeah. The new iPhone 7's got dual speakers. It's one at the bottom, so when you hold it, the sound comes out.
Headphone port?
Lightning.
I
Oh,
was
you
gonna
talking about a
say-
Pixel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny. During the training, they're just like, and one of the better features, it's actually got a 3.5mm jack. I hate how America does it though. They put like 1/4 inch jack
Oh, yeah.
because they're Imperial.
Mm.
Those Imperial Sith scum.
You rebel scum.
America is a metric system anyway. I don't know, like a lot of people don't realize
Still
this.
very, very imperial.
No, they use Imperial, but there was like a big consortium like around the world when metric was being standardized around the rest of the world. Well, it is a standard around the rest of the world, and everyone signed on being just like, we will use the metric system. That's the system that we all agree. We will sign this here. Yeah,
10, 100.
Yeah, 1,000, and that's how the units go up. And America signed it, so they are technically listed as a metric country, but obviously they only ever use Imperial.
Yeah.
But that being said, they got region codes. So like if you're, let's say that you're buying stuff from overseas through a lot of the bigger websites, which are smart. they will see that it comes up as metric for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, well, it's sometimes I'm not saying that it's bad, but sometimes it's good to keep things, say you have an existing product and you re-release it remastered. On that note, something I'm really looking forward to that's coming out this month. Now, I played a lot of Skyrim when it came out originally. Now, as we all know, it's being remastered, being brought back to consoles. I can't wait because they're so addicting, that game. And just bring it into new graphics, being redone completely. It's fantastic.
I feel bad for PlayStation owners though.
I was just gonna say the whole mod thing, how you can do the mods with PlayStation,
is just so stupid.
Well, yeah.
Well, actually, they haven't even announced that mods are coming to Skyrim for PlayStation. They've announced that mods are coming to Fallout 4 for PlayStation. And if you don't know what we're talking about, basically, what was it? Maybe only 6 months after Fallout 4 got released, Xbox and released their mods thing. And mods allow you to write your own code, write your own scripts, or even import your own models. So you can do cool things like Fallout 4 is a bit restricted that if I wanted to wear a suit and I put armor on, depending on what piece of armor that it was, it would replace my suit because they were both tagged as like a chest piece, even though one is like an armor chest piece and could realistically be worn over another one. So there's scripts and mods that allow you to wear multiple pieces like that. On Sony though, their mod system is completely and utterly ridiculous. You cannot introduce new code. You cannot introduce any scripts.
It's very tight.
And you can only use pre-existing models and items within the game.
Yeah.
So it's not really modding, more rearranging,
that's not completely wrong. I mean, the thing I was really excited about when they said, because I've got an Xbox One, they said you can actually finally get mods, that content on PC. And there's heaps of mods for Skyrim and Fallout and the Fallout games. There's heaps of mods, Just they're so ridiculous. And now they're bringing that to consoles. That's good that they can now open it up for console players who, I'm not saying that PC's bad, but some people prefer consoles to PC.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't get caught up on like the between PCs and consoles. Like I grew up on consoles obviously, and I grew up on PCs. Like I had like a Amiga and a Commodore, and then I got my Atari, and I got my Sega, then my Sega Mega Drive. Like I could go through and list all the consoles that I had, but through it all, I also had a PC, and I'd say for a large part, you have people who are very PC enthusiasts, and a lot of them must not have ever grown up during the early days of PCs, or if they did, I mean, they must have been very technically savvy, because running a game and setting up a computer on the old ones was super hard to do. Like you had to download custom graphics drivers for your Voodoo graphics card chip, and all that sort of other stuff.
The list would go on.
Yeah.
All right, I want to bring up something.
Yeah.
If that's okay. So, I want to read it because it's got an interesting fact that I want to bring up.
Yeah.
Maybe for a bit of a laugh. I've got a couple here actually, but my main one is so there was a guy called Graham Burke.
Yeah.
Who did a talk here on the Gold Coast about movie piracy, and just piracy in general, and pretty much a lot of what he said is he compared people who pirate movies to people who sell drugs and heroin and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's absolutely correct.
Well, you said that with dead seriousness. I was like, but I don't know, just like
Is he talking about the effect it has on ruining other people's lives,
No,
their
like-
income or something?
No, he's talking about the class of
he's
people.
talking about the type of people who do it. And I've got a quote here. He says, once we take down 100 criminal websites, we will get an immediate and drastic effect. Australians no more would go into a store and whip a Mars bar off the shelf and then go pirate a movie. Direct quote.
Yeah.
Now, that might not seem so significant to you, but it
I
is
am not
us to listen.
amused.
Max is not
Those
amused.
sort of comments by those sort of people, they're totally asinine because, and don't get me wrong, pirating is wrong. You should never do it realistically, particularly if you have proper channels. I mean, pirating went down drastically when Netflix was introduced into Australia.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Since Netflix has come in, and also since Stan and Presto have also upped the game and brought in their own services, and since Spotify has also gained traction, Apple Music, piracy, and also film piracy has gone down significantly.
It's the start. It's the beginning of the era of the end of piracy.
And then Foxtel comes out and be like, oh, no, don't worry, guys. We made it easy. You can sign up to Foxtel for no contract, right? That was true. You still got to pay $75 for the box. Still got to pay $75 for the installation. But we charge a special price of only $30 for our Game of Thrones pack.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
you know, because we're top blokes. I mean, I friggin' hate
Really?
Rupert. I friggin' hate Rupert Murdoch so
Which
much.
still cost you $90 in total.
Yeah.
Because you needed 3 months subscription
Yeah.
for it.
And again, I'll say it again. You should not pirate content, but when they do make it so hard, you can't be surprised when people go through those sort of means to get it. I mean, it's exactly, I mean, I know that he did reference to drugs, and that is sort of true in the sense that, you know, people want marijuana.
Yeah.
People will go to dodgy neighborhoods or associate with dodgy people to get said drug, which then sometimes creates a massive health risk problem in terms of they're risking their lives sometimes. You know, they got to go to some shady neighborhood to pick up their drugs. And yeah, you're creating an unsafe network, both on the internet, because people need to go to these dodgy sites, or in real world, where they need to travel to these dodgy areas to get something which doesn't do anyone harm if you just release it in the proper channels, tax it appropriately, and control the substances of what it is, or like how it's delivered. So...
yeah, well, I mean, exactly right. I'm just going to end off with one quick quote from that same guy on this topic. It's been proven they often have connections to organised crime and crime syndicates.
Yeah.
These people who pirate.
Yeah, totally. Godfather Don Corleone's sitting there. I'm going to make him a DVD he can't refuse. I could see that.
Sorry, but anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just...
Speaking of pirates, have you guys seen the Pirates of the Caribbean, the latest teaser trailer for it?
Yeah, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I like who they chose to play the bad guy. I can't remember his name.
It's a funny name, but I think he was also... I could be wrong, but I think he was the comedian in Watchmen. Is that the same guy?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I also went to high school with the pretty boy in it.
Oh, the character's name Henry.
Yeah, he's from Cairns.
You went to high school with that guy.
Yeah, I went to Cairns High.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really talk to him much because he's younger than me anyway. I think he's like 2 or 3 years younger than me.
He looks like a bit of a baby.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's just because he's a good-looking guy. So he's got like good-looking skin and he's in makeup and whatever else. But yeah.
Have you seen it, Jacob?
I have not.
No.
It's like my friend also went to high school with that other famous, or I say famous, but that other chick Australian actor who was like in Home and Away, then went and did some other movies overseas. And no.
Let's not talk about her.
No.
Tomorrow When the War Began?
Yes, yeah, that one.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Well, actually, I went to school with, Lincoln Lewis?
Yeah.
I went to school with him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
No, it's funny you say that. I'm, legitimately, serious. Because I went to a Catholic school and we had Pancake Wednesday? Pancake Tuesday? It was
It's not a normal thing, so I go.
It was something
pancakes.
they did. Yeah, it was, I don't know, some religious day. And we got to have pancakes. And and he was one of the people serving him. Because when I first started, he was in his final year.
Did your school ever do World Famine Day and you just have, soup and rice?
No. We did. Mine did.
You know what's funny, though? You know what's funny? And I felt cheated because, I mean...
I felt cheated.
No. Follow me here. Shut up, you idiots. Growing up, people don't realize it obviously because of my complexion, but my mum is PNG and Asian. So I grew up in an Asian household eating a lot of Asian foods. So I'd have heaps of rice and soup all the time. So I'd come to school because I loved having our riblet rolls and our pies and our lasagnas because my mum wouldn't cook that stuff.
So you like to mix it
up. And I go there and it's just rice and soup again. I'm just like, I got this at home. I don't need this here. Yeah, and that's all they would sell you. They wouldn't sell you anything else. I'm like, rip.
I just tried to avoid school those days.
Did your mum do tuck shop that day?
Nah, my mum never did tuck shop. She was like, that's a stupid job. I'm not going to do that.
Jeez.